got rocked, but he got up, came back to the huddle, but you look at him and he's a little bit dazed, and just say, do you remember what happened? And if he kind of doesn't, then he may have a concussion. Why is that a big deal? And to not let him keep playing that way, because if he gets hit again when he's in that state, he runs the risk of dying. So if you're, one of his teammates, you're going to be doing him a big favor to say, why don't you go over and let the trainers check you on the sidelines? And then we have ways to test and see how severe the concussion is. So that goes from severe concussion with a heavy situation, and make sure that there's an airway if you're on the site and the guy's down on the ground and not breathing, to a mild thing, be the guy that helps him out and isn't responsible for the fact he ends up getting another concussion and has brain damage from that. Okay? So you'll see a lot of stuff about concussion. That's some basic stuff for you guys to understand if you're playing on the field. Second thing, hydration. How many of you in here have had to come out of a game because you just cramped up? Your legs cramped up? About half. It's a really, really common thing that we see late August and September. When it's really hot, guys are sweating a lot. It's because you're losing salt and water when you're playing football in heat. And there's a lot of remedies, drink pickle juice, a lot of different things. If you notice or eat mustard, the continuing thread with all those things is all of them have salt in it. Okay? So one of the things you can do to help prevent that from happening is it's going to happen to you guys if you've had it happen before. It's going to happen again. Usually it's kind of late into the third quarter or into the fourth quarter when you're tired and you haven't been replacing your fluids and electrolytes well enough, and you'll cramp up and then have to come out of the game. If you have to come out of the game, the trainer's going over and pushing on your leg for a few plays, you're missing plays. In the meantime, the team's missing you, and also you're going to have it come back on you too, because by that time, it's too late to get the fluid and electrolyte replaced. If you're feeling thirsty, this is a real good thing to remember. If you're feeling thirsty, you're already a third down from what you need to be. So when you're playing a game, never get to where you feel thirsty, okay? But to start out, one way we've helped to keep the cramp stuff from happening is pre-game. Just get a 12 to 16 ounce Gatorade, and you can get the Kirkland brand Costco stuff, because it's got both salt and water, and it has a little sugar in it too, which helps the energy level. But try to drink that when you put your gear on. Just kind of sip on it, a few sips kind of all the way through, about 30 to 45 minutes before you're going to play. So maybe before you go out to warm up, drink some and save a little bit when you come for that last hop before you go out on the field. But 12 to 16 ounces of some electrolyte-containing fluid pre-game, so you don't go into it already dehydrated. I've had guys who are cramping up all over the place, and I ask them, well, what do you eat all day? They haven't eaten anything. They haven't had anything to drink, they haven't had anything to eat all day long, and they run out and play football, sweat all their water off, and their salt, and they're cramping up. So no big mystery there. But so 12 to 16 ounces of electrolyte-containing fluid pre-game, and I'm sure you guys can get your boosters to provide that for you. If they don't buy, just bring a 24, a couple of cases of that, and have you drink it. And during the game, when you come out, if it's, you're on defense and offense's turn, you need to drink about 8 ounces of fluids for every half an hour you're playing. Okay? So easy. 12 to 16 ounces of regular size Gatorade before you play, and about half of that for every half an hour during the game. So at halftime, you ought to just drink. And remember, if you're thirsty, you're already behind the game, so try to load up. Okay? And you'll prevent stuff like happened here with that individual dying, and what happens, like I said, several times around the country. So that happens because they're dehydrated and their sodium levels down, both salt and water. So you need to make sure whatever you're drinking has some salt-containing material in it. So any aid you want, something with salt. So that's the hydration stuff. Everybody got it? 12 to 16 ounces before you play, 8 ounces for every half an hour while you're playing. And I'll bet you play money dollar. Those of you who raise your hands if have had cramps before won't have them if you'll do that. Last thing I want to mention is don't be a wimp, okay? Now you might think, well, yeah, look at all these guys around here, big studs, got lots of muscle. But what I've seen happen, and this is kind of through the lens of experience, and Lonnie or Dr. Collis and I both have been doing this for 30 years, covering games, etc., is nowadays guys go down with some injury thing, and they roll all over the field, and I'm sure it has something to do with the TV cameras rolling, but they're rolling all over the field, and you know, you're wondering, well, we need to run out there, go help them, or not, or is that enough? And what happens, you run out there, and they, you know, got their finger caught in some guy's helmet, you know? And so you think they got some real bad injury, and it's their finger. And so what happens is starts to create a, you know, crying wolf thing where you don't really know if kids are hurt or not hurt if you aren't. So if you get hurt, you get drilled in the leg, twist your knee, or you know, roll your ankle or something, try yourself to just put some weight on it and see how it feels. Because if you stay down, you're going to have to come out of the game. If you're down and the train has to come out, you're done. So if you're on a real important drive, the last 2 minutes of the game, you get drilled in the thigh by a helmet, and it hurts a lot, but you can walk on it. If you go down and stay on the ground, and the referee signals for the trainer to come over, you're out for the play, okay? So when you get hurt, just make sure you're really hurt, okay? That's when I say don't be a wimp. In the old days, you know, you had to usually drag us out of games. Lonnie and I, you had to have bones protruding from your skin to want to come out. We don't want you to get to that point. And we're there to take care of you. We want to take care of you. And that's the other side of it is we're on the sidelines because we want to keep you playing, not keep you out of playing. And my passion, as Dr. Paulus's passion is to keep you going, whatever we need to do. Maybe we can tape it up or brace it or do something with whatever injury you did, get your fingers, splint it, get you back out on the field. Our goal is always going to be to get you to play, but play safely. But we want to really know, need to know if you're really hurt or not. I had one high school coach a few years ago that I happened to be covering high school for, and he told us, I wonder what the heck was going on. Every kid that go down in a game would stay on the ground. And I'm thinking, what the heck? We got just a rash of injuries because every time I'd go out, it was not that big a deal. And he had told them, whenever they get hurt, just stay down. And you know, 90% of those injuries were nothings, things they could have kept playing with. So when you get hurt, just test whatever it is, your arm, your leg, your knee, walk around. When I'm looking out on the field at kids that are getting hurt, I watch what they do after their injury and see if they get up and they can hardly put weight on their leg. Then I know they're hurt, okay? If they can put a little weight on it and just start walking it off, then they're going to be okay. So be smart, but don't be a wimp, okay? And then know that if you have some injury, we're back there wanting to get you back out playing, and we'll do anything we can to make that happen safely. We won't be the kind of guys that sprain your ankle so you're out for 4 weeks. That doesn't happen in my world. It's sprain your ankle, how can we get braced on rehab and be back playing if possible. And Dr. Paulus is the same way. That's the one thing I've always appreciated that we worked together for a gazillion years is that he has that same mentality. Both of us had the opportunity to play sports in college, one football, one baseball, and I'll leave it up to you to decide which. It's the mystery. But we know what it's like to be where you're sitting and even go next level and how important it is to play, how much it means to you to play, and we want to keep you playing. So those are the main things I want to get across to you today. Concussion thing, don't use your head. Hydration, get the fluids and salt going, and then don't be a wimp when you get hurt, but let us help you if you do. Any questions on anything that we talked about? So you're bored you to death, I told you all you need to know. Let me just have Lonnie stand up and introduce himself to Dr. Paulus. Thank you.